Hello everyone, today I'll be working on my 2003 Jaguar XJ8. I'll be changing the spark plugs, checking the ignition coils, also doing some work on cleaning of the throttle body. So first I'm gonna release the hood, and as you can see, there's the engine and everything, and I'll be using these tools for the mentioned jobs. First of all, you gotta disconnect the battery. In order to disconnect, I'm gonna use a 10mm socket and a 3/4 wrench, and the battery, as you know, is in the back. Okay, so we're gonna start off by disconnecting it. Okay, so we're already open up where the battery goes. You're gonna start with the positive. The negative, so I'll disconnect both, you know. Okay, go next to that. The next step is to remove these three covers, which is with this one, and that one over there. So you're gonna be using some Phillips for those. I have a set here, so I'll see which one fits, and then I'll continue with the removal. Okay, so I found the one that fits. I'm gonna remove this one first, and then that one, and then the middle one last. Once removing all these three components, these covers, I'll be setting all the items right here, all the screws and stuff, so I don't misplace them. So the next step will be to remove these two covers. It's gonna be pretty much the logo. So in order those, you gotta like kind of pull them gently because they might break. But before pulling them off, you have to ensure to remove these clamps or holders for these two hoses, and be careful because they're kind of, you know, toasty. So one is out, the driver's side. I'm gonna continue with the other side. I'm gonna be setting all the items in one place. Continue on this one, but in order to remove this one, it's better if you remove the throttle body cover and also the air filter, in order to get easier access to this, even though it's not required, but I do it first. So you gotta unplug this one. You can kind of clamp, you gotta like pull it. Just be careful because some of these items might break, so you pull it up, and then you continue with this one, the casing for the air filter. There's one here, and the one over here is the most pain one. So, and before you pull this one out, you gotta ensure to remove this sensor. It's like MAF, something like that, so you gotta clip it out. The next we're gonna be to remove these two screws. So I believe they're 10mm, so you continue with the wrench in the socket. Well, they came out to be number 8. So you gotta ensure to remove them all. And I have two different type of wrenches. One is 1/4 and one is 3.5 or something like that. So correction, this is 3/8 wrenches and this is 1/4. So I was going back to, once you remove this one, you continue with the other one, and you already have unplugged the MAF sensor and unplug this hose, and then you're gonna continue to remove all off the. So once this cover is released, you can remove the air filter. Also check it and see how clean. Well, I gotta dust that off, and this seems fairly good. Next step is to remove this engine cover. So you gotta pull it like the other one, be careful. Now we go into the first job. I'm gonna be cleaning the throttle body. You can use a toothbrush, and also I got this throttle body and air intake cleaner. So pretty much what you do is push it down, and you can see it's there. Let me give you a better look at it. As you can see, it's kind of dirty in there. So you see the ring as well as this side. So what you're gonna use is this to clean it up. Fortunately, I lost the little straw that comes with it. So you're gonna scrub this. So I already used the toothbrush, and as you can see, the ring that was around it disappear. So what it does, it helps, you know, for the whole body to go back and doesn't get stuck in there. Just gotta clean this little part right here, so you can. Once you cleaned it, you can cover it to avoid any debris falling on it. So I'm gonna use a cloth in there. Remember, you're gonna be having all this area open, so the least you want something to fall into the throttle body. So the next step is gonna be on removing the cover for the ignition coils, which goes here, and we're gonna continue on the other side, and the driver's side goes here. Okay, so these are all the tools that I'm using for the job. As you can see, I have the wrenches here, different sockets type, the anti-seized cream. Here are the spark plugs that were recommended for it. So I got this one at AutoZone. Of course, I'm gonna need 8 of them. So that's the part number and everything. And he goes the torque wrench, which I'll explain later how to set it up. So those is what I've done so far. So next step is gonna be on removing these covers. As I mentioned, they're like 7mm wrenches. I use this small one because this area is kind of tight to get into, so that's why I'm gonna use this type of small one for small wrench. So I'm gonna use this 7. I'm gonna continue. So I'm going this way to remove them. I was mentioning, as you see, the other one might be too big to fit in there, so that's why I chose this one. Let's go and remove it, finish. So when you're done removing these 7mm screws, then you're gonna open it up and you're gonna find the coils in there. So remember, you gotta put all the pieces together. Put it on this side to remember that this one goes on this side and not confused with the other one. So the next step will be to unclick these connectors. So you gotta make sure you get a good grip of them and just pull them. You can use a screwdriver, just make sure not to be too hard on them because they might break. So I have removed 2 so far. So in order to do it, I just get a little help with the screwdriver. You have to press first this part. It's gonna make like a click noise, and then you gotta slightly push it up this way and then one up, and it's gonna start sliding off. You're gonna hear the click. So you're gonna start from, remember, front to the back. After quite a battle, you get to remove them. Remember, to pull first note, remove this part. And what I did in order to get them to come out faster for the second one was to use this wrench slightly to push it on here once you press the click. Okay, next we're gonna go ahead. So it's gonna be number 7. You're gonna remove them out. So once you remove them, I already got this one out, so you can just pull it out, and then you're gonna have it. Then the next step gonna be testing them with the multimeter reader, this one right here, and we can see how if they're good or not. I'll show you. So I have a screw with a 7mm, all of them. I show them bring 2. Then all you're gonna do is pull them out. On this car, I had twice already changed the head gasket. First one I did it wrong. Second one seems to be okay. As you can see, there is some oil in here. Well, we're gonna check how the spark plug come out. But first, we're gonna test this ignition coils, and we're gonna determine whether they're good or bad. And I'm gonna do the same way from front to the back, and I'm gonna lay them the same way. So I set them out as they were on the engine. The next step is gonna be to check it with the digital multimeter. So we're gonna set it on ohms. Okay, it's gonna display OL, and we're gonna be checking. There are 4 in there. We're gonna be checking this 2, one of these 2, any of this. Then this has to change in order to make sure that they're working. If the numbers don't move, it means you know that they're not as good. Let me try to do it. So I have set it down. It's on OL. I put 1 in there since I'm using only one hand, and then I'm gonna do one red one. And I'm gonna touch it. See, we're trying those 2, and it moved. We wanna continue with the rest of them. So this one is good. You can test this one. Moves as well. It moves as well. So these 2. Continue. So we have tested them all out, and next step is gonna be to remove the old spark plug. So in order to do that one, we're gonna need, and in this case is a 5/8 socket. We're gonna use an extension, which is a 8 inches extension, and a ratchet, and then we're gonna go ahead and remove all the spark plugs, and we're gonna be checking them to see their condition. So as you can see, it goes right in there. I'm gonna continue on removing them. Already loosen them up. I'm gonna hand remove. We're gonna hand remove it. So once we remove it, we're gonna get the socket out, and you can see it's, wow, soaking in oil. So I'm gonna have an issue with the gaskets again. So I see what alternative do I have with the overall condition. We're gonna check it. It has some white parcel, which means might be an issue as well with the coolant. But I'm gonna go ahead and change them all. And well, due to the limited space on this one, I have to use a different type of extensions, because the space between here and here has been kind of trouble. So I don't want to remove the entire housing of this, so I had to manage to remove it out. So we're all done removing all these 4 spark plugs, and I'm going to show you them all to you. So these are the 4 spark plugs from front of the vehicle to the back respectively. The first one had a lot of oil in it. The second one seems to be fine. The third one was okay. The fourth one has some grease on it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and replace them with the new ones. So you don't need to size them. This one, like, check it because they're already pre-gapped. You don't need to gap them because you already come pre-gapped, so you don't need to do anything besides adding some of this anti-seize lubricant on this area so you can have a better grip. So you need 4 of these ones, and you can start them from 4 at the back to replace them. So I'm gonna start where I stopped removing. So this is kind of what it looks like. You're gonna apply, I think you apply too much, but then you're gonna go ahead and start setting them up in there. As you can see, already got almost to the last. So first you're gonna hand tighten it, and after hand tightening them, you're gonna use a torque wrench to according to the research that I've done, is about 18 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna show you how to set it up, the wrench, so it can work. Yeah, it's 18 feet per pound, that's what it seems like it. So I'll show you in a second how you can set a torque wrench. Let's go ahead and hand tighten this one. So it's already pretty much hand tight. We're gonna go ahead and continue with the torque wrench. This torque wrench, I got it from also AutoZone, and you can see here it's the parts. So in order to do it, I'm gonna show you. You're gonna move this one over here and then set it up to 0. Let me show you how to. Yeah, you can see it in there, kind of working with me. So you can switch it. You see it, how it changes like that. So we're gonna go to say 18. So we scroll up to 15. Then you loosen up right here. Do 15 right there. So you see the mark, what is a 0, 0, and the line of 15. That's 15 pounds, square feet per pound. So we gotta do 18. So you go into 3, and that is 18 right there. So I don't know if you can see it well. So it's 15 and 3 is 18. So you're gonna continue on getting them up. Try to fit it in there, and you're gonna hear a click once it goes. So now we're gonna use the torque wrench, so you can hear the click. Hold on. Then we're gonna continue. Already hand tied it, so we go next. You heard the click? Yeah, that's when it's ready. So we got one more to go on this side. So we're doing the last one. You can hear the click, and also it doesn't let you pass from there. So continuing with the placing back of the emissional coils, I'm gonna go ahead and place in the same way. You see, going back in there. Okay, they're all placed. Now the next step is gonna be to put back each of the 2 of the 7mm screws that go in there, and then after that we're gonna go ahead and connect them. But first, let's put them on this. So all of the ignition coils are already in place. The next step is going to be to place these connectors back. So it's gonna go and slide in. I can see it this way. Okay, and remember to place this part back into there as well. I'll be placing them. You're gonna hear them a click once they go in. You hear that click? Make sure to place it back there. Okay. So they're already in place. The next step is gonna be to put the cover on top of it, along with the 6 screws. It's gonna be the same as this one, 7mm socket size. So what you can do is first all hand tight them, And you cannot see all the way back there, but there's two more. Okay. And if you do the top and bottom ones, you see there's two more there. And then you're gonna use the ratchet with the 7mm to tighten them up. So you'll be using the 7mm ratchet to tighten them up. Then make sure they're like tight enough. You continue the process for the 6 of them, and then you're almost done on this side. Then continue on the second one. So now this side is all complete. We're gonna continue on the next side, and we're gonna repeat the same process, removing the top by unscrewing these 7mm ones, and removing the ignition coils, removing also with the 7mm ones, pulling them out, and then after that we're gonna use the 5/8 to remove the old spark plugs and replace the other ones. So let's go to the other side. Okay, on this side is gonna be a little bit more, maybe, well, hopefully it's easier now that we did the first side. So let's continue with this one. This one seems to be missing one of the 6 screws. We'll see what we find. So the side is already uncovered. I removed the cover. So we're gonna continue the process same way as we did on the other side by removing this ones, and hopefully I can be able to take a good shot how I did it on the other side, because it tends to be kind of difficult. Yeah, this one can be seen too. So this is what I did. Press it here as usual, and then try to work it out. Just be careful because these cables are really hard and they could break, but that's how you do it. Then you hear the click, it comes off. Then after that, just go ahead and click it, and it comes off right off. You see that? So all the connectors are off. So it goes the same process as before, repetitive, to remove all these screws with a 7mm socket, and then to remove the ignition coils in order to replace the spark plugs in the back. So the ignition coils were already removed. We removed the ignition coils, and we're gonna go ahead and do the same way to test them with this one. I already tested them, and what I found out, this one is higher. This is like 13 or something. As you can see, hopefully that's me. Come on. Well, these are like 1357. You see, higher than the other ones. All of these are like about like the same one, 12 and something compared to this. So I'm going to show you all the spark plugs that are all of them positioned respectively as they were in the vehicle. So you can see they have a lot of oil. I'm not sure if they have oil since the time the gaskets were changed, but now we're gonna go into the last step and replace everything here in this side, and then we're gonna be finishing soon. Okay, so I'm done placing everything back same way as we did on the other one. Now we're gonna go ahead and start placing the items back that we removed at the beginning of the video, which is gonna be the air filter along with the AMF or MAF, something like that, sensor, the MAF, along with this one, and the cover that goes to the throttle body, which I already cleaned up early at the beginning, and then placing the covers back that goes here on top of the engine, and the covers along this way. So I'm gonna start off, and we're gonna go step by step. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and place this first onto the engine, and then this one, so we don't have trouble like putting it on and removing it. Okay, good. Okay, so now we're gonna put the air filter back along with this the sensor. First you gotta remove this part. Okay, make sure it goes on top, because otherwise you're gonna have trouble removing it back again. So make the connections, make sure it clicks. Okay, so now that we put the air filter back, the MAF sensor, and this connection, we're gonna connect the throttle body. So make sure it goes nice and fit. Just gonna make a little there. So it has 2 screws and an 8mm socket. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so now we're done. Okay, so this side of the engine is already covered. Just make sure to be careful when you put in these ones on, because they tend to be real kind of fragile. While I was earlier changing, this part broke and I had to order it. So now we're gonna go ahead and place the middle cover, which it goes here, and then we should be almost done. So we have that cover over there and the cover over here, and then we put the battery back. Okay, so now everything was placed back, so you just gotta double check that everything that you removed is placed back into what it was, and also nothing left behind in screws or parts. This side is good as well. So remember, you close it when you close this hood, you gotta close it from both angles, one here and the other one on the other side here. Okay, now we go ahead and connect the battery back. So you need a 10mm, and like this, and this is what a car looks like. You're gonna go to the back and you connect the battery back, and we're gonna start it. Okay, so now the battery is set back, then we're gonna go ahead and start a cart. See how it goes. System check. Okay. Oh, it's gonna go ahead, and what it does, it's gonna let me know what the issue might be. Okay, gonna let it sit for a moment. Okay, starting back kind of subtle at the beginning. Now we're gonna go back and check it and see under the hood if anything goes up. Okay. You can hear it. This side as well. Everything seems to be working. Yep. I guess it's because it had new spark plugs. That's why it was hesitating to start. But we got it on now. We're gonna give it a moment and then we go for a ride. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you got something to learn from it. It was an awesome experience, and any questions, let me know. I'll post in the details about all the items that I used. Thank you, and I'll post more videos in regard to the rest of the things that I've done to this car. Bye.